So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, Text number 15. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yasya avatara guna
karma vidambanani namani ye asu digame vivasha grananti te anaika janma shamalam sahasa eva hitva sangyanti apavrita amritam tam ajam prapadye Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
Namani yesu vigame vipashagrisnanti
Namani yesu vigame vipashagrisnanti
Te naika janma shamalam sahasaiva hitva
Te naika janma shamalam sahasaiva hitva
Yapavrtamritam tamajam prapadye
Samyanti apavritam tamajam prapadye
Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
Namani yesu vigame vipashagrinanti
Namani yesu vigame vipashagrinanti
Te naika janma shamalam sahasaiva hitva
Te naika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva
Yapavrtamritam tamajam prapadye
Samyanti apavritam tamajam prapadye
Devi? You can go. Alright, the man can go.
Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Namani yesu vigame vivasagrinanti Te naika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanti apavritam tamajam prapadye Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Namani yesu vigame vivasagrinanti Namani yesu vigame vivasagrinanti Naika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Te naika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanti apavritam tamajam prapadye Samyanti apavritam tamajam prapadye
Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani
Namani yesu vigame vivasagrinanti
Namani yesu vigame vivasagrinanti
Naika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva
Te naika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanti apavritam tamajam prapadye Yasyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Namani yesu vigame vivasagrinanti Tenaika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanti apavritam tamajam japadye Yashyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Namani yesu vigame vivashagrananti Tenaika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanti apavritam tamajam japadye
Ladies, Yashyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Namani yesu vigame vivashagrananti Tenaika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanyapavitamitam tamajam prapadye Yashyavatara gunakarma vidambanani Namani yesu vigame vivashagrananti Tenaika janma samalam sahasaiva hitva Samyanyapavitamitam tamajam prapadye Yasya whose avatara incarnation guna transcendental quality karma activities vidambanani all mysterious namani transcendental names yea those Asuvigame while quitting this life Vivisha automatically Grinanti invoke Te they Anaika many Janma birth Shamalam accumulated sin Sahasa immediately Eva certainly Hidva giving up Samyanti obtained Apavrita open Amritam immortality Tam him Ajam the unborn Prapadye I take shelter Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Let me take shelter of the lotus feet of Him whose incarnations, qualities and activities are mysterious imitations of worldly affairs. One who invokes His transcendental names, even unconsciously, the time he quits this life, is certainly washed immediately in the sins of many births and attains Him without fail. Purport. The activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of God are a kind of imitation of the activities going on in the material world. He is just like an actor on a stage. An actor imitates the activities of a king on stage, although actually he is not the king. Similarly, when the Lord incarnates, He imitates parts with which He has nothing to do. In Bhagavad Gita 4:14, it is said that the Lord has nothing to do with the activities in which He is supposedly engaged. Namam karmani limpanti namme karma pales priha. The Lord is omnipotent. Simply by His will He can perform anything and everything. When the Lord appeared as Lord Krishna, He played the part of the son of Yashoda and Nanda. And He lifted the Govardhan hill, although lifting a hill is not His concern. He can lift millions of Govardhan hills by His simple desire. He does not need to lift it with His hand, but He imitates the ordinary living entity by this lifting. At the same time, He exhibits His supernatural power. Thus, His name is chanted as the lifter of Govardhan hill, or Shri Govardhanadhari. Therefore, His acts and His incarnations and His partiality to the devotees are all imitations only, just like the stage makeup of an expert dramatical player. He acts in that capacity, however, are all omnipotent, and the remembrance of such activities of the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is as powerful as the Lord Himself. Jamil remembered the holy name of the Lord Narayan by merely calling the name of his son Narayan, and that gave him a complete opportunity to achieve the highest perfection of life. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Bhavakamala Vaishnavascha Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sagala Raghunata Sadaita Saduta Parijana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Samagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukham Karoti Vachalam Bandula Vigategirim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Rinatarinam. Pretty amazing verse in purport. Very amazing. What I found really interesting in this purport was Prabhupada was saying how he imitates the ordinary living entity by this lifting. So the ordinary living entity can lift a mountain. No. So Krishna is simultaneously imitating the ordinary living entity and showing his prowess as the Supreme Lord at the same time. Because he doesn't have to even lift it with his little fingers. Just by his own desire he can lift it. Just Krishna thinks, I want Govardhan to lift, it'll lift. So why do they have to stand there and hold his finger, you see? So that way he's imitating an ordinary man. But yet, at the same time, he's showing his omnipotence. What little kid can lift a mountain on his little finger? Show me anybody who can even hold their finger up for 7 days. Just try holding your little finger up for 7 hours and see if you can handle it. You're just holding your hand up with nothing there for 7 days. We can't even do that, you see. So it's amazing, he acts like an ordinary, at the same time he shows his omnipotence in the same act. So in this way, everything about Krishna is simply wonderful. The way he holds his head, the way he moves his eyebrows when he plays his flutes. I mean, every little thing about him is just absolutely... It's like an ordinary person, but then again, it's completely extraordinary. I mean, other people, an ordinary flute player can also move his eyebrows when he plays his flute. When he plays the flute. But he can't move like Krishna. Yeah, his flute playing is, just like even in this world, there are boys who like to play the flute. So that way Krishna is imitating an ordinary, but nobody can play the flute like that. Wow. Krishna played, even the demigod, even 33 million demigods, they just bow their heads when they hear that flute playing. I mean, even the demigods, who have incredible musicians, they have amazing musicians in the heavenly planets. The music they can do is just... We can't even imagine that kind of musical arrangements that they have on the heavenly planets. But that's nothing compared to Krishna's flute playing. Nothing. His flute playing is so amazing. I mean, everybody is stunned. The animals, they're in Vrindavan, right? Cows are chewing on the grass, the monkey's eating a banana or whatever. And they're all chewing, but as soon as that flute playing, their chewing stops. They stop chewing. And they're described, they're just like painted animals, it's like a painting of an animal. They're all frozen. All the animals, when they hear that flute, all the animals are completely, Jamuna, the water of Jamuna, I mean, everything just is completely affected by Krishna's flute playing. So these pastimes are amazing. And actually they're meant to attract us back to the spiritual world. We don't belong in this nasty place. We belong back with Krishna, the Loka Vrindavan. That's where we belong. So Krishna is very kind. Gives us a sneak preview of the spiritual world. To induce us to see the whole movie, so to speak. To experience the whole thing. Gives a little sample of what it's like in the spiritual world. So we can desire to go back. I mean, just every little thing is just amazing there. Every little thing is unlimitedly amazing. And you say, well, I'm not so fortunate. I was there 5,000 years ago. I could hear the flute. So what am I supposed to do? What's the hope for me? But you know what? Every single Leela of Krishna, lifting the Govardhan, playing the flute, stealing the gopis' clothes, all of it, it's right there, and you'll find it totally packed up and fully available within Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you don't have to miss out on anything. You have a key in your hand, in your bead bag. You have the key that unlocks all the pastimes of Krishna. It unlocks full access to the spiritual world. Right there on your lips. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So all we really have to do is master the chanting of Hare Krishna. That's all we really have to do. We can somehow give up all these offenses. Offenses make fences. Big, huge fences that we can't cross over. So get rid of the fences of the offenses. It's sometimes tough because, we're pretty offensive people, really, If you compare us to the inhabitants of the spiritual world, we're like walking, talking aparats. Really, that's our consciousness. We're aparadis. In so many ways we're offending Vaishnavas, offending the holy name, offending the deities. We're just offense personified, really, in this Kali Yuga. But if we take advantage of the mercy of these great acharyas, especially our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Paripachakacharya Astatara Shishimad A.C. Bhakti Padanta Tri Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. And we take advantage of His mercy. Then we can come out of this offensive, deluded, miserable state that we're in right now. Really. Offensive, deluded, miserable state. That describes our present status. But the beauty of this process is, even though we're in a pitiable, offensive, miserable condition, we can be ecstatic immediately. Say, what? How can I be miserable and ecstatic at the same time? Well, here's the example. You're dirty. Your body is filthy. But you get in the shower. Even though you're filthy, you're in the shower. And when you're in the shower, you're considered clean, even though you're dirty. In other words, I can't say, oh, he's so dirty, but he's in the shower. How can I criticize somebody being dirty when he's in the shower? So if you're in the shower, scrub it away, Haribo, scrubbing in the shower. No one can say, oh, he's so dirty. You can't criticize somebody for being dirty. You're in the shower scrubbing away. You see what I'm saying? So in this way, all we have to do is get in the shower of Krishna consciousness. Take this sadhana bhakti process very seriously. And then you're in the shower. So you're considered as good as clean, even if you're dirty. So this way we can actually taste the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness, even in a dirty condition, just by getting in the shower. Somebody said, they asked Prabhupada, how many pure devotees are there on the planet? Prabhupada said, how many devotees are there in ISKCON? Wow. Of course, that applies to those who are strictly following, not those who are breaking a few principles every now and then on the weekend for a little fun or so-called fun or whatever. But Prabhupada accepted those who are in this movement, who are strictly following the regular principles. Prabhupada accepted they are pure devotees. Wow. So, even though we're trying to become pure, and we're not really pure yet, Prabhupada said pure devotees. So if we simply beg Krishna, please, my dear Krishna, please free me from my Vaishnava aparad, my Nama aparad, Seva aparad. Please free me from Krishna. Please help me, my Lord. I'm so offensive. I'm so many bad qualities. Please save me from this madness and make me your pure devotee. Sincerely beg Krishna again and again, day after day, week after week. Just keep begging Krishna. You know what? The magic happens. We actually have the awakening love of God in our heart. It will come. To those who sincerely beg for it, they get it. You don't have to be a great yogi or a great mystic or a great jnani. You simply have to sincerely beg Krishna for pure devotional service. And you will get it. Krishna has been traveling with you within your heart through thousands and millions of lifetimes of your sojourn here, trying to enjoy separately from Him in this material world, just waiting for that moment when you'll again turn to Him and beg for release from the clutches of the material nature. He's been traveling with you for millions of your lifetimes here. And when you were Brahma, when you were Indra, when you were Indragopa, when you were a snake, when you were a pig, when you were a monkey, when you were a prime minister, when you were a leper, Krishna was there in every one of those bodies with you. Waiting. When will this soul to come back, turn back to me and beg for my mercy, that he may be engaged in my pure devotional service? So when you actually do that, then Krishna floods you with his mercy. As Prabhupada wrote me in one letter, he said, like torrents of rain in the monsoon season of India. So that's all you really need. All we really need is sincerity. Do you sincerely want to become a pure devotee of Krishna and get out of the material nature? If you do, you're in good shape. You're on the right track. Maintain that sincerity, and Krishna within the heart will guide you. The Guru from the externally will guide you. The Vaishnavas will guide you. The Scriptures will guide you. If you have that sincere desire, then you'll learn how to connect with the Scriptures. You'll learn how to connect with the spiritual master. You'll learn how to connect with the Vaishnavas. You become actually gradually learn how to take directions from the Lord within your heart also. These things will come simply by sincerity. So somebody said, but Gurudev, I'm not sincere. What can I do? I have no sincerity. So I say, well, are you sincerely saying that? Well, yes, I am. Well, so you have sincerity. Okay, if you say I have no sincerity, I ask you, are you sincerely saying that? Oh, yes, I am. I'm sincerely saying I have no sincerity. So that you can be sincere. It's within the power of each and every one of us to be sincere. So all we have to do is do it. Prabhupada very much encouraged me when I was a brand new devotee. He wrote me a letter and he said, I can see that you're a very sincere and enthusiastic devotee. Prabhupada really encouraged me a lot. He said, now continue enthusiastically as you were doing, and surely Krishna will bless you. Prabhupada promised me that if I would go on enthusiastically engaging in devotional service, that I would give Krishna's blessings. So that instruction has been carrying me now from 47 years. They can't hear the class on the internet? Oh. Let's get back to our connection. Something happened to the internet connection. Get online again here.
Start meeting. Share better.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to the wonderful world of Krishna consciousness, the dimension of eternity, knowledge, and bliss.
All participants are muted. There are 5 participants in the conference.
So now, let's see, we're on. Yeah, okay, good. We're back on again. Okay. So the process actually works. It's not hype. You see, we have a tendency to be skeptical because we've been hyped by so many cheaters throughout our whole lives. But this is not hype. You must have faith. This is not hype. This is genuine. Krishna is not a myth. Krishna actually is the Supreme Lord. He's the source of all existence. Everything emanates from Him. It's not like Darwin says, this is the Vedas are the absolute truth. The Vedic Bhagavad Gita is the absolute truth. And you can even test it if you're skeptical. Just try it. Follow the teachings of the Gita and see what happens. Make an experiment. Give one life to Krishna. So, well, is Krishna real or is Krishna a myth? Well, it seems like he's probably real, but let me test this thing. I'm going to give one life to Krishna. This one life is completely dedicated to Krishna. My every thought, my every word, my every deed in all times, places, and circumstances now will be for Krishna. Yad kadoshi yadishnasi yajdahosi dadasi yad tapasya shikonteya tat kadusha madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, give away, as well as whatever austerities you may perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. You may think, well, I've tried everything else. Why not try this? I make this one life, everything will be for Krishna. And I'll see what happens by doing it. Well, you do that, you wake up in Goloka Vrindavan, in your original constitutional position, an eternal spiritual being, one of the associates of the Lord. That's what will happen. We guarantee it. So try it, you'll like it. We encourage the whole world to come to this Krishna consciousness movement. You know what Prabhupada said in Mayapur? An amazing thing. Right now he called this world Maya Loka. He said we can turn Maya Loka into Vaikuntha Loka. Simply if we can constantly propagate Krishna consciousness, we can make the whole world Krishna conscious. Everybody will be Hare Krishna people. He said that. We can make everyone Hare Krishna people. Pretty amazing. So let us focus on awakening our Krishna consciousness and giving it to others. What's the relationship? Well, I'll tell you an insider secret here. The more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. Why do I go to the trouble of traveling all over the world to tell people about Krishna? I have a residence in Austin. I can just stay there. Chanting Hare Krishna. Guru Mata and I can worship by the Damodar. We have an ashram here in Austin. Why don't we travel all over the world? Because I know this principle. The more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. So I'm greedy for Krishna. Therefore I'm traveling all over the world and giving Krishna, giving Krishna, giving Krishna. Because then I get more Krishna, more Krishna, more Krishna. So that's a little secret. You want to enhance your Krishna consciousness, preach as much as you possibly can. To yourself, first of all. To your family members. To your friends. To your neighbors. To all living entities. Embrace the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya. And Krishna becomes your personal property. Wow. It's pretty powerful stuff. Fully embrace the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya, and Krishna becomes your personal property. Wow. He has to become, because how you can give Krishna if you don't have him? You understand? If you take your mission to give Krishna to the fallen souls of this world, then Krishna has to give himself to you, because if you don't have him, how you can give him? You understand? So try to understand the great mercy of taking out this preaching mission. In any ashram, the householder is a brahmachari, brahmacharini, sannyasi, vanaprastha. Doesn't matter. Embrace the preaching, the world deliverance mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Krishna becomes your personal property. So we have a few minutes left, 10 minutes actually. If there's any questions, I can try to answer them. Here comes a question. What if one asks the best question that can ever be asked? It's the best answer that can ever be obtained in the three worlds, but does not apply the answer practically. Comment, please. Well, that's he's fortunate, and it is his great fortune he asked the best question and got the best answer. It is misfortune he didn't apply it. So don't mix fortune and misfortune. Be completely fortunate. What is it that we think is liberation? Actual liberation is becoming re-established in your eternal relationship in Krishna's pastimes. Please explain the point about Krishna imitating activities of this material world in the connection of the lifting of Govardhan Hill. I already did that in the lecture. We lift things. Krishna didn't have to lift it at all. He could have lifted on his own. But we lift things. It's like a lift this bottle, right? Now Krishna could just go and lift on his own. He wouldn't have to take his hand and lift it up. So in that sense, he's imitating us by lifting the hill. Those souls are being deprived of human bodies. Those souls are being deprived of human bodies due to bad karma. How come the population of the world keeps increasing? So they're coming up from the animal kingdom. After they undergo the reactions for this simple activity, they get another chance. The animals come up to the human platform. That's where they're coming from now. The animalistic humans are coming up from the animal kingdom. Please explain moment when you have actually seen Krishna, feel it. Please explain moment when you have actually seen or feel Krishna. Well, I'm not there yet. I'm waiting for it. I'm still seeing the material world out there. But I know I'm getting closer, and that's exciting. Prabhupada said, now you disqualify yourself to see Krishna face to face. I haven't gotten there yet, even after 47 years. But the progress I'm making is enlivening me like anything. I can tell you that honestly. I know I'm getting closer every day. There'll be little ups and downs along the pathway, but I know that I'm making progress. I'm coming closer to that day when Krishna will reveal himself to me fully. I'm realizing more and more about Krishna as I progress through my days, my weeks, my months. I'm realizing more and more about Krishna. And I know that day will come when I fully realize Krishna. Of course, you can't ever really fully realize him, because even Krishna doesn't fully realize himself, even though he has unlimited powers to realize everything. Even though Krishna fully realizes himself, his glories are expanding exponentially at every nanosecond. So even though Krishna fully realizes himself, he has even more to realize after he's done that. In other words, even Krishna has to go on increasing his Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not static, it's ecstatic because it's ever increasing. Even Krishna has to keep increasing his own Krishna consciousness. You understand the point? So the point is, you never becomes boring. Well, I'm now fully realized Krishna, there's nothing else to learn. No. You can always go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper it's a bottomless ocean. No matter how deep you go in the ocean of bhakti, you can even go deeper and there's no end. In other words, the bliss is unlimitedly expanding. Well, we got 5 minutes and we've run out of here some more. They're all coming from you today. Well, any more? There's no papers for anybody to write questions on. He's getting the full monopoly. There's no pen and paper. You can always just verbally ask. When the Guru is physically around, the ecstasy dramatically shoots up. That's a fact. When Prabhupada was here, it was just amazing. Wow. Ooh, it was just absolutely amazing to be with Prabhupada. And see Prabhupada arrive at the airport. Oh my God. And then, to hear him lecturing, and it was so amazing to be there with Prabhupada. How to maintain such ecstasy in his absence. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on that one myself. When I look at the deity, I'm trying to remember what it was like to actually be there with Prabhupada. See what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the same feeling I had when I was actually standing right beside Prabhupada. I remember in Atlanta, Prabhupada was on the Vyasa. And there were like 300 devotees, and the temple room was packed, but I stood right by Prabhupada, on his right side. I got very close as I could, without, sitting in his lap. I was as close as I could to Prabhupada. And I just tried to remember that feeling that I had then, when just like offering the artis. Try to enter into that mood. The thing is, we can remember this point from Krishna Lila. Why did Krishna leave Vrindavan? Well, you could say, well, he had some business to do in Dwarka. But that's the esoteric reason. The esoteric reason he left Vrindavan was to increase the ecstasy of the Brajabasis. Now we're getting some high-level philosophy. To increase the ecstasy of the Brajabasis, Krishna left Vrindavan because love in separation is more intense than love in meeting. I always give a mundane example. When I was a kid, I was into the mundane music. That's all I knew. I would spend the whole summer listening to the top 40 on the radio. I knew nothing else. I didn't know about Krishna. I didn't know this kind hadn't even come to America yet. We had Christianity that was so boring that there was nothing there really. It was just imitation. It wasn't real Christianity. So there's one song that was a big hit on the radio. It's called "It's Been a Long," it went like this. It's been a long and lonely summer. See, his girlfriend went away for the summer, right? But darling, something this, every day I will write you a letter sealed with a kiss. So the point was, when he's with his girlfriend, it's nice, and he tells how much he loves her and this and that. But when she's away and he writes a love letter, wow, it becomes like 10 times more heavy expression of his loving emotions. In other words, in separation, his expression of love is magnified many, 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 many times. That love letter what he writes in the love letter is much heavier than what I ever told her face to face. You understand the point? So the idea is love in separation is intensified, tremendously intensified. When you're with your beloved, it's like, it becomes like so, okay, another day. When you're separated from your beloved, it becomes very, very, very intense. So to Krishna blessed the Vrajabasis with the highest ecstasy, highest possible ecstasy of love of God by separating himself from them. Vipalamba seva, serving in separation, is the highest ecstasy. There's Sambhog, meeting, and there's Vipalamba, separation. So, the same thing applies to the spiritual master. If you can learn how to associate with the spiritual master in separation, by taking his order as your light and soul, it's like Baba gave the order, make the world Krishna conscious. I have embraced that order as my very life and soul. My duty is, I must make this whole world Krishna conscious. So by embracing the order of the spiritual master in his separation, now you are packed even more tightly than when you were standing beside him when he was giving the Bhagavatam class in Atlanta when I was, you understand the point? So one has to learn how to connect with the order of the spiritual master. By embracing the spiritual master's order as your very life and soul, now you're even more tightly packed up with your Guru Maharaj than when you're standing beside him during the Guru Puja, when he was physically here. This is the point. That's the answer. Okay. This is the last one now. So two more. No, this is a basis of it. Should remain here in the material world separate from Krishna. What you should do is do whatever Krishna wants. Maybe Krishna wants you back in Goloka. Not what I want, but what Krishna wants. You see. My mood is like that. Whatever Krishna wants. If Krishna wants me to stay here birth after birth after birth to preach, I'm ready to serve him in separation. If he wants me to come back to Goloka right now and fan him, I'm ready to go. See, whatever Krishna wants, that's the answer. Not what I want, what does Krishna want. You know what? The same principle is taught in the Bible. Christ says, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. This proves that Jesus is a pure devotee. The Christians don't understand their own Bible. Christ is a pure Vaishnava. Father, not my will, but thy will be done. Krishna, when you say Jesus didn't feel like being nailed to a cross and executed. And he knew it was coming the next day, but he said, whatever you want. And he did it. He went and had himself nailed to a cross, you see, to please Krishna. So, that's the real thing. We should simply always be totally sold out to Krishna. Whatever my Guru and to our spiritual master represents Krishna purely. Whatever Guru and Krishna want, that's it for me. I'm going to stay here eternally preaching Krishna consciousness, if that's what they want me to do. Or look at Prahlad, he's in both worlds simultaneously. That's amazing. Described in Prabhupada's purport, Prahlad Maharaj is in Vaikuntha Loka, also in Tutala Loka, the material world. He's in both worlds simultaneously. So you can actually be in Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world at the same time be a preacher in the material world. That's really interesting. You can do both at the same time. But we leave it up to Krishna. My dear Lord, whatever you want me to do, I belong to you. I'm just your servant. Now, whatever you can give me whatever you want. You can take away whatever you want. I don't care. If you want to kill me right now, I'm ready to die right now. Whatever you want to do with me, just do it right now. I'm yours forever. That is pure bhakti. And how do you cultivate it? You can just pray like that. You just pray in the mood of pure devotional service. Follow the examples of the prayers of the great acharyas. Pray in the mood of the great acharyas. Don't concoct some material prayer that Krishna, give me a Cadillac, a brand new Cadillac. Replete with Michelin tires. Give my wife a new silk sari. Give my kids a Harvard education. Give me a house and a sea. Om Jaya Jagadisha. Don't make these material prayers. You're killing yourself. You're cutting your throat if you pray for these material things. You're cutting your own throat. You just beg for pure devotional service, and you will enter into a realm of unlimited ecstasy. You will taste unlimited nectar every minute of your day. You simply always pray for pure devotional service. Kick out all these ridiculous, nonsense, asinine material desires. Kick them out. You don't need them. It's just dead weight. It's holding you back. Kick it out and boo. Pure devotional service is all I need, and that's it. Finished. So our time is up. We thank you all very much for tuning in. Let's see. One last question from the internet, and that's Nanda Vardhana Das. Isn't it when the association of the service of Srila Gurudeva is available, one should grab it instantly? Yes. Prabhupada took every opportunity he could when he was with him. He took the opportunity to be with his Guru Maharaj. You should, every chance you have to be with your spiritual master, you must take it with great enthusiasm. Every chance I had, one time I made a foolish mistake, I didn't, and I still regret it to this very day. One opportunity I had to be with Prabhupada, I didn't take it because my parents wanted to visit me. I was so stupid, thinking, well, let me preach to my parents. I stayed back. The devotees went to Chicago to be with Prabhupada. I stayed back because my parents were planning to visit me. I was thinking, I'll sacrifice and preach to them. And what was the result? My dad said, son, why don't you get a job in a hospital? Do something for society. I stayed back from Prabhupada to hear that. The stupidest mistake I made my whole life. Whenever you have a chance to be with your spiritual master, go for it. That's the intelligent thing to do. So we thank you very much. Grantarab Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi.
His great Sriman Sankarshan Das Karik Maharaj ki
Jai.